Jason Redman is a retired Navy SEAL, performed tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'll tell you a story about Navy SEALs after this review. Tim Brown is a firefighter and was there at the Oklahoma bombing, and he was there at the Twin Towers during 9/11. I'd like to thank Mr. Redman and Mr. Brown for their dedication and service. The director for the film The Perfect Day is Jeannie Ivers. The stars in the film are Jason Redman, Tim Brown, and Kerry O'Brien. The release date for this film in the United States was January 3rd, 2018. The film starts with a retired Navy SEAL nicknamed Soup because his last name is Campbell, like Campbell Soup. He works for a private security company at a counterterrorism training facility hidden in the Blue Ridge Mountains. His ability to deal with a variety of threats and turn them into a well-planned preemptive response is his skill set, and that came very, very useful for him on many of his combat tours and into Iraq and Afghanistan. Soup was training several soldiers, particularly a sniper, with different types of data was showing up in the IT department. Purchase of large quantity of farm fertilizer. Young adults were being recruited by a violent video game online, and a known terrorist who moves large quantities of money and does recruiting for a known radical group. With all this information arriving, Soup realizes there might be small cells of terrorism for him, and with an ideal event around the United States, they could attack simultaneously. Soup calls a friend in D.C. and explains to her what might be happening in the near future. Her boss shrugs the new information off, so Soup decides to do something about the terrorist plot and about the man who's organizing these tragic events. Meantime, Soup's friend joins him and his comrades, even though she could lose her job. The acting is not the greatest in this film, but everyone gave their 110% for the true meaning of the film. I feel all the actors in this film believe there is a real threat to the United States at all times. Jason and Tim's main purpose for the film is to raise awareness about terrorism in America and help preventing this menace visiting the United States. For this movie, they recruited 9/11 survivors, fellow veterans, and families of fallen heroes from all wars. Jason and Tim is hoping the most important thoughts walking away from this film is being steadfast and vigilant. My short story about the Navy SEALs. First, I was RA, Regular Army. Well, RA stands for one other thing I used to hear all the time. Yes, I volunteer. This is the other name for RA. I consider myself a soldier, not a veteran. For me, a true veteran is a person who served in any capacity in a war or conflict. When I joined the Army, they asked me if I wanted to make $55 extra. I said, sure, why not? I was young, dumb, and something else. And they signed me up for airborne. I had no idea what airborne was. But it ended up to be the toughest training I went through in my Army experience. The black hats there, they were the people that trained you. They were the men that trained you going through airborne training. And they were hard, they were tough, they were very knowledgeable about parachuting, and you don't mess with them. Now, as we were running around the 300-foot towers in a large group, the black hats, they would run around this large group as we're running around the circle of the 300-foot towers. Plus, they would come up through the middle from behind. And you do not touch any of them while they're coming up the middle of the group. In this picture, 2 men are being hoisted up to let go at the 300 foot. So when you land, the sergeant could scream at you and how you screwed up your PLF, meaning crash and burn until you got it right. Hit that hole, pole man! We had groups of different branches of services and ranks, but there were 6 Navy SEALs going through the same training. They respected the Army, but let's just say they had fun going through the rigorous airborne training. One morning, formation was formed and the word was spreading like wildfire. A flag was mounted at the top of one of the 300-foot towers. Then it was placed there by the 6 Navy SEALs during the night. To prove I was there, Fort Benning was the best place to have chow because they fed you as much as you wanted or as much as you could hold down. Plus, see the arrow pointed to that 30-foot tower, well, 30-foot building. They would strap you in just a parachute harness. They called it the nutcracker because you jumped out and you got the jolt like you did when you jumped out of C-130 or C-141. Jump right out, count to 4 while you're slamming your hands against both sides of reserve. That's how it was. Then you slide down this cable and hopefully somebody catches you. You see that picture with the only 2 soldiers being hoisted up? Do you know why only 2 soldiers instead of 4? Because they had to find out which way the wind was blowing. Airborne all the way, sir! Thank you.